Okay, if you've ever seen the Mistlands, like, I guess, preview, sneak peek, you know that there's a lot of spikes, verticality, all of that, that really will be in the thumbnail. And my question is, what are they gonna do about that? So, there's three possible ways that they can go about it in terms of combat. Because right now we don't really have ways of, well, too many good ways of dealing with the vertical combat. Especially not with, you know, like a flying enemy like that moth concept art that we saw. Yeah, it's going to be really difficult aside from a couple of options, and option one would be for them to not do anything at all, which I think is the weakest option. Be like, oh, you can use like bow and like you could use spear, but why would you? Because you could just lose that real easy. And then you lose your spear, or even if you don't lose it, but if it's way over yonder, if you miss a throw, it's like, okay, well, that's really annoying, and I want to do that. Just rather use the bow. So, not worth it most of the time. So, I think they could leave it as is. I also think that, like, hey, we're getting the crossbow soon. It's like, oh, we're gonna have multiple options of the same style of dealing with enemies at different altitudes. Like, you got range attack and another range attack, and maybe a third range attack that nobody's gonna use. There is also the Mace Middle Mouse, which is somewhat good, but won't be useful that much, I don't think. Versus a friendly, what is it? Friendly moth-looking feller in the Mistlands. There's also just running so that you're at even ground. Although that doesn't always work out. In which case, option 2 is literally just give an angling option to where you're aiming. So if you are focusing down like this, your attacks are angled down, just like in the Souls games and Elden Ring. And if you're aiming up, your attacks get angled up. That would certainly fix it. It would fix a lot of problems with like spears and shit. Don't know if it'll get implemented, but that's like the easiest thing I could imagine. Option number 3 is with new special things. Like maybe a fancy named Atgear or something that we don't have at the moment. You know, we got the Frostner, Porcupine even. That's a named weapon, even though it's just okay. Got all sorts of funky stuff. Draugr Flesh Rippers, the most recent weapon added in with a name. All sorts of cool weapons. We don't have a named sword, named Atgear, named Battle Axe. We have 2 named maces, a named bow. What else? I don't think we have anything named. I don't think we even have a named spear, which is curious. I feel like we'd have one of those at least by now, considering how meh they are personally. Not just personally. I mean, let's be serious. spears. Use, you know. Alright, well, I've already talked about that in the video, so I won't rehash that. But, getting to the point finally, they could add in a new special weapon that has some sort of vertical oriented hitbox, and that would solve the problem in the Mistlands. So it would be some sort of an issue, and then you struggle through the Mistlands, and now you have this convenience in a really cool way. I think it would be cool to have some sort of a like a fishing pole themed at gear made out of, like, maybe it can be made with like combination of ocean stuff and Mistland stuff, and it could be like this really cool vertical, maybe like a downward pierce as a special move set or special middle mouse, and then that pierce can also be used to actually get fish, even from a boat. You just be able to get fish. That's something really cool because Mountain Cave spoilers. There is a 1 in 400 chance. Nobody's made a video about this yet, and I haven't found it either. But there's a 1 in 400 chance that there is a thawed, frozen lake in a mountain cave, and there are fish in those mountain cave in that lake. And it would be cool to have a nice little weapon to go along with that, or a nice little something, because there are unique things about that fish, which I won't say, but worth catching, you know. And it's just a really cool thing. But yeah, let me know which of these 3 options you would like the best. Number 1 would be just don't touch vertical combat. Number 2 would be add in, say, oh, I'm like blanking. Like, did I have 3 things? I'm losing it. My first video back, and I'm already losing my mind. Yeah, shame I can't remember. Anyway, let me know. Let me know which ones you'd be interested in. That you think they should. Oh yeah. Number 2, changing the hitbox to be vertical. Number 3, and this is the one that really took away my memory. It's because it's so cool. My favorite option would be creating a new weapon with a special hitbox that would be Mistlands tier that you could also fish with. Preferably an at gear, because I love at gears, or it could be any sort of polearm, because the skill is polearms, but we only have at gears. Maybe we could use additional polearms, like different designs. I don't know. It's seemingly possible because black metal at gear does vary so much from the original design, and I would like to have a unique Viking polearm other than the at gear to mess around with. Doesn't even have to be Viking, because the bronze sword is like a Roman gladius. I don't know. Could be any sort of European thing that the Vikings had contact with historically. Let me know what you think would be cool. I like the idea of like a sword spear. Something like that. I think that would be neat. Yeah. That in mind, I'll see you guys some other time. It's good to be back.